Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how I got this eye look right here using one palette. I decided to try out the Anastasia Subculture palette, so I talk a little bit about it, and I used quite a few shades just so we can see how different shadows were blending and applying, since I knew there was a huge controversy on this palette. A lot of people saying that the fallout was really crazy and the shadows were really hard to blend. So if you want to see how I got this look right here and you want to know what I thought about this palette, please keep watching. Today's look, we're going to use the Subculture palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I know there's been a lot of controversy on this palette, talking about a lot of fallout and the colors aren't really easy to blend. I did have some issues blending certain shades because I have used this palette before. I'm not really sure if you can see, but it wasn't a lot of fallout. I just went in very lightly with the products. So looking at the palette, there's no brow bone color for me, so I'm gonna use my my Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of golden ochre, sorry, right here, and I'm gonna apply that on my brow bone. And I'm gonna be using this new brush I got from my Glam Bag, the Luxie 249. It's a double-sided, and I'm just gonna go in with this side. Now we're going to start using the Subculture palette, and I'm not really sure exactly what look I'm going for. I just wanted to try something out, show you guys how the palette looks, and see if I can come up with something cool. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of Edge, and I'm just using a very small amount. So it did have some kickback. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's nothing too crazy. And I'm just gonna apply this on right by my crease area. It's actually a really nice color. This palette's actually very pigmented. And you really only need a little bit. So if you can see, I didn't bring this color all the way in. I'm just keeping it on the outside. And I think I'm gonna use a little bit of New Wave and bring it a little lower. So the next shade I'm going to use is going to be All Star, and I'm going to use a Morphe M433 brush. I'm just going to take a very small amount, literally the tiniest amount, and I'm going to really work this in. So with this shade, this one is a little hard to blend, but we're going to try to make it work. I'm going to keep this on that outer V, and I'm just pushing the product in. I'm going to go back in with my blending brush from the previous colors and just buff this in a little bit. I don't know if you can see, it's a little patchy over here. So let's see if I can use a flat brush just to disperse some of that color. I'm going to use the Anastasia brush that comes with the palette. I'm just picking up a very small amount, and I'm just stamping this color on. That did go on a lot smoother. You really have to work with these colors. Okay, it's finally coming together. And because I was blending so much, the All-Star color, instead of being towards the outer V, it ended up going in a lot closer than I wanted it to. And I'm going in with a little bit of New Wave, and I'm just buffing this out. So I went ahead and did the other side. I'm gonna use a little bit of Roxy and try to blend this out just a little more. Oh, and I am using the Sigma Blending E25 brush. I think I'm just gonna keep this in the inner corner to blend. Just going back to the first blending brush, which was my Morphe M441. I didn't dip into my palette. I'm just using whatever on there. I'm just buffing over. But I'm trying not to disturb any of the color right in the front. Now picking up Adorn, which is a really nice bronzy metallic shade. I'm going to apply that in the inner third corner. Okay, so I changed my mind. I'm just gonna go in with my finger and just push that in. So I'm liking how that looks so far. Okay, and then we're going to start working on the lower lash line. So I'm going to use a pencil brush. I'm using Sigma E30, and I am going to dip into, I don't know. Okay, we'll go in with a little bit of Edge and New Wave, and we'll just start building up the color. I'm going to go in with a No Name brush and buff that in. I'm going to go and use a little bit of Roxy. Bring that in a little closer. Okay, and I'm not going to use All-Star. I think I'm going to use a little bit of Fudge, which is this really nice milk chocolatey brown. And I'm going to use one of my Anastasia brushes that came with one of the other palettes. I'm going to keep this on the outside, the outer corner, sorry. I'm going to use a little bit of Adorn, just that metallic shade again. I'm going to bring it down here. I actually don't like the way that looks. Okay, I'm going to try the shade Cube, which looks white, but it's a pink iridescent. Actually, I like the way this looks a lot. I'm thinking maybe I should pop a little bit of it on my brow, on the highest part of my brow bone. Just right here, sorry. It's blocking. So if you want to keep it like this, you're more than welcome to. I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of eyeliner. So I'm going to try out the Morphe Slate Liner, and I'm going to use the Morphe M250 brush. So I'm going to put a little mascara on. I am using L'Oreal's Voluminous Carbon Black, and I just put some lash glue on my Salon Perfect 614s. So I can't find my MAC Teddy eyeliner, so I'm going to use the Essence liner, which is coincidentally named Teddy as well. And I'm going to apply that into my waterline. And I'm using the MAC Extended Play for my lower lashes. So I'm just going to set my face with a little bit of translucent powder using Airspun. And I'm literally just adding the smallest amount in the areas where I tend to get a little shiny. Time for highlighter. I'm not sure which one I'm going to be using. I have my Master Chrome in Molten Gold. I have the NYX Duochrome in Snow Rose. And I have my e.l.f. Apricot Glow. So I think I may layer all three of them, or maybe just two. So I'm going to start off with the NYX Snow Rose. It's actually a really nice pink. You can see it. And I'm going to be testing out the new, well, this is a new brush for me. It's the Morphe Y14. Then I'm going to apply some Apricot Glow. This is from e.l.f. I'm only overlapping the both highlighters in the center. I'm going to go in with the Apricot Glow, and I'm going to put this down the bridge of my nose too. Not really much of a blush person, but I'm going to use a little bit of the Milani Romantic Blush. This is the number 1, and I'm going to use this Glamour Dolls blush brush that I got in one of my Ipsy bags a few months ago. I'm just going to apply a very small amount in between my bronzer and the highlight. I'm going to line my lips with MAC's Cork. I'm going to go in with the Dose of Color Daisy and Katie collab, the In More Creamer Please. So I'm going to add a little bit of Peach Sock. And I'm just going to add just a very small amount of Myth Lip Gloss from MAC in the center. This is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed the look. I'm actually really glad with the way everything came out. I did struggle a little bit trying to blend out a few of the colors, but overall, as long as you have a little bit of patience and you use a very light hand, I think you will enjoy this palette. But if you don't really have a lot of patience, then this palette may not be for you. I really wanted this palette, even though I read so many negative reviews about it, just because it looks like the perfect grunge palette, and I feel like you can do a lot with these colors. But if you guys want to see more looks with me using the this palette or the colors in here, please comment below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.